What's up, gang? In this video we're going to take a look at my newest machine. This is my Grail machine. I've said it many times, but if this is the first time you've heard of this or you haven't seen any of the other videos, my dad had this machine growing up. It wasn't this exact one, but it was this Title. I've been looking for it for a long time, and every time I run across one, it's way out of my price range. And I'm really not sure why. I mean, it's an older machine. You know, there's no ramps, there's no DMD. I mean, it's the same era as Kiss and what else is in there? Captain Fantastic, Evel Knievel. But this one's just a bowling machine, and I'm not sure why, but it's always high dollar. But I finally got one. I also got a parts machine. I got everything pretty much except for the cabinet and the back glass with this one. So in this video, I just want to put everything together, start cleaning it, and kind of take an inventory on what I think I'll need, what it looks like. I kind of know what we're dealing with on the MPU. We have some battery damage. I have two. One's better than the other one. I may just order the replacement this week, because I think I have the touchdown sold. So I'll take the money from that and go ahead and buy the replacement board for it. I do have one already, but it's in my Harlem Globetrotters, and I don't want to use that one, steal it from it. But let's go ahead and take a break now. I'm gonna bust open this box, and then let's go ahead and put the boards and the displays in. And I want to get this glass off and start cleaning it. And I went to any kind of plastics or anything that are better than the ones that I have on here. I want to go ahead and switch them out in this video. Nothing super technical, just kind of taking an inventory and doing some cleaning. Stick around.
I'm Walter Day, the father of esports, and you're watching Matty Mo's Arcade.
Still left in the box down here. Got some chimes, some harness, and some hardware and stuff that came from the bottom of the cabinet. I'm going to shove it out of our way because I do believe we have everything in the bottom of the cabinet. But I may want to get in here and get my stool. So we have all of our boards. Let's see. A better look here. You can see this one's got some damage on it. And it's still got the alkaline battery on here. So you can see what happens is it's basically like a AA battery. It eventually will leak, and the newer batteries nowadays, they leak a lot faster, and these lasted a few years before it happened. But you can see all the way around the board it's got it, and then all the way up into here. But you can see, like, in some spots it's made its way up into these chips. We got all the way around that side of the board. And I've already determined that I'm just going to buy a new one, because I will try to repair the easier one and have it for a backup, just for practice anyway. But I definitely just would rather have the new board. It's much more stable. I'm going to start with just dusting this stuff off over here before I put the displays in. Try to get as much dust and crap off of here as possible. Yeah, I knew there was some in there somewhere. The game itself was in the warehouse. These boards came from Indiana. I think that's where I got them from. And this machine, the cabinet, this machine was made, was it 3 days before my birthday? So it's 3 days older than me, which is kind of cool. Almost exactly. And some of the boards are from the same month, and some of them are from, I think I saw one that was from May, but this machine was in June. Let's get some of that out of the way. I guess we can shove these in here. So I'll show you kind of what they look like here. And normally you can see, I don't know if it's these exact displays are not, but when they're bad, you can kind of see like a little black circles and stuff in the inside of the displays. And I didn't see that in any of these, so I'm hoping that they're good. If not, we'll get new ones of those too. Marco actually sells different colors, so I'm not sure which color I would get. I think the red might look good in it since we have a lot of yellow and red. I wanted to get the blue ones for the Harlem Globetrotters. I think they would have looked sharp. Okay. See if I can slide them in here. Oh, it looks like we have the brackets on here. That's our problem. We don't need two sets of brackets. They are on there really, really well. Let's see, is there something? Is there a trick to this? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. Looks like they just slide off. So I am gonna need to pull out these screws. Should get my electric screwdriver. Save us some time here. There we go. Got a bit in there. Much nicer. Oh, I don't need to do that, do I? No, I don't have to do that. I just slide them in. Never mind. Dirt. I'm actually pretty familiar with this machine. I've worked on several of them. Not a Strikes and Spares, but this era. I've done Evel Knievel. There's a Playboy, I think, from this era. Oh, it might be in the way there. Let me see here. Yeah, connector was in the way. Can't shove it through the connector. And it seems like every one of the displays has the same 2 or 3 resistors that are burnt out, except for there was one that, well, I wouldn't say burnt out, but this one looks good. But they were right in here, or right in there somewhere. Or maybe they were over in here. This one actually looks a little different. I wonder if it's the same. AS2518. Let's see if I can look at this one. Let me just compare here. Yeah, they definitely look different. So this one, look like they have the same pinout. It's not that different. I don't know. Wait, here we go. Here's the number. 2518. Yeah, we're good. Just gotta get this bracket off of here. What are you guys looking at? Make sure you see what I'm doing here. Somewhat, anyway. I can probably move the lights in a little better spot. The lighting is weird in this room. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's dark right in the light. It's weird. I'm kind of trying to brush everything off. There's a big old spider egg on there. That's nice. Get that crap out of there. And just try to shove that connector back behind there for now, so we can do them all at once. There's just a little groove that they slide into. They fit snug. It's really nice to have all this extra stuff too, especially on an older machine. I really like to have two machines every time that I work on something, just so you have something to reference, you have something to pull parts off of. So this is going to be really handy. It's gonna save me a lot on the dumb stuff, but you know, a lot of the electronics I'm just going to replace. We might use a coil here and there or something like that until we can get one in. Man, they're on there. The back glass is in great shape. That was a big bonus. Okay, so this is a good example to show you on here. Let me get the light for you. Okay, you can see where it's kind of burnt up here, a little burnt there. They all looked like that. So there. So that's going to be something I'm going to want to look into and probably replace if we end up going with these. That one looks pretty ugly. That one might be bad there. I got a pretty good deal. The guy gave me all of the stuff from the inside of the machine and the Playfield, all of it for 200 bucks. I probably would have paid that for the Playfield alone. So it was meant to be, and it better be, because I've been looking for this thing forever. I haven't played it, whether it was the one that we had or a different one, since I was 13. I haven't seen one in the wild. I've seen many for sale, and I've had several friends that have had them. And I got lucky at my buddy Lance, who's at the end of my videos. He had one, and I was like, "What do you want for that thing? What do you want for that thing?" And he wanted more than I could afford, but he let me work the extra off. So I'm always willing to do that deal. Let's get rid of these. I have to remember to put that one back on. Okay. Let's go ahead. There's a lot of dirt in here. Let me try to get this light over here for us a little better. This thing is huge. No, it seems like the whole rest of the room is just pitch black, but it's not. It's a little better. Let me show you. See all that dirt in there? So I'm gonna have to take my little vacuum and get that out. But let me see what you guys are gonna be looking at. I almost want to get that light over here. Like that, I think. So we're not gonna put the MPU in just because it's got way too much damage. These other two boards look okay. Usually when I check the power supply boards, there's something burnt to a crisp. We have some questionable solder joints on here. Probably go over the header pins. This guy right there, what is it? It's a resistor. It's this guy right here. It's definitely crispy. Yeah, that one is burnt up. Let's see if I can show you. And it's this one right here. Get the light to it. You can see there's not much left of that. So we'll have to check that. And let's see, I'm gonna guess that everything is gonna go where the words are facing down so you could read them. Somebody did it like I do it. I always try to put the screws back in the hole so that I can find them when I'm ready to reassemble. There's some little plastic tabs, that's what it was. Good, they thought ahead. Help me hold it in there. So we got our adjustments up here. Different dip switches. It's been so long since I played this, I don't remember. I mean, I remember that we just played the shit out of it, but I don't remember any of the rule sets or anything. There's the pins that go across the middle, and you actually kind of bowl a game, but I'm sure you don't get like 10 frames or anything like that. But oh, she is dusty in here. Tell you what, a regular screwdriver, something magnetic. So if you watched my last video, I was working on the sound on the turtles. I got the sound done, but I wasn't able to do my little trick with the sound module, but I did figure that out. I was able to get it to play the sound I was trying to get it to play, and then on top of that, ooh, there's some, looks like there's a little bit of drip damage on that one there. Make sure we clean that up. But yeah, like I was saying, I was able to get it to play my sound, but it was a little scratchy. And we have two different volume pots, one that's on that sound module board, and then one that's on the, is that where this one goes? But it's definitely gonna work, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And I'll do a full video on it once I know exactly how to do it. I have another multicade commissioned after the Turtles for a Star Wars. Another Star Wars guy liked the looks of that one, so we're going to do another one of those. And I'm also going to do the startup sound for that, which is, if you don't know, basically I took a sound module from a custom greeting card. Like you open up the greeting card and it says whatever you want it to say. And oh, is that the problem? Is I didn't take them screws off. Oh, this one doesn't have screws. I will find my own right here. So yeah, it's for a custom greeting card, and you open it up, and it says, "Hey, Mom," whatever. So I took it out and I hacked it basically. There's not a whole lot of hacking involved. I basically cut off the speaker and cut off the batteries, and you can just hook the batteries up to the 5-volt power supply, and it comes with like a little speaker the size of a quarter, and we're not going to use that inside the game, so I just wired it to the game speakers. And I did get it to play one time in the video, and it played really clear, so I know that it will. I just have to figure out, I put, I think, too thick of wire for my speaker wire compared to what I had before. I think that messes with the resistance. And so I think between having the two volume knobs and getting the speaker wire correct, it should play fine. But I did try it. I shorted the button to play the sound. And when you start it up, it plays the sound one time and stops. And it doesn't burn up anything or anything like that. I dropped my other screw in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my connectors on. Just gonna make sure they're not all... Okay, maybe I won't. That one looks fine. This bottom one over here kind of looks a little grody. It doesn't look like it's got alkaline damage, it just looks gross. These things all bent up. No, they're not that bad. I'm gonna say, if they're not all straight, there's no point in me taking the time to do this on camera. It's just the one on the top. Usually the one on the top and the one at the bottom are bent from people pulling it out. So I guess we don't use that one. Let's see. Yeah, it's just dirt. I put these in the wrong place? I think this goes over here. I think that's my problem. Alright, I'll switch that later. But that's definitely my problem, I think. I don't have a manual. I'll order a manual too. Yeah, for sure. That's probably down there. What do we got on here as far as connector wise? Well, that one fits there. That one fits there. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess some of my harness must be down in there or down in the cabinet. We'll get to it. We'll get it figured out. It's almost like it's new to me. And we'll leave that alone. We can put these in here. I've wanted this for so long, it's just weird having it. And I don't care about buying new stuff for this. I told my son he better come over here and learn how to fix it because he's going to inherit it, because I'm not selling this one. I was devastated as a kid. My parents got a divorce, and when my dad moved, he took it with him. And it wasn't too much longer after that we started having problems with it. And I didn't get to play it much after that, obviously, because we lived in different houses. So it was in our living room before, so it was like anytime you want, play it till you die, you know. And I just played the crap out of it. But after that, it started having the flipper problems, and it probably had alkaline damage. And I remember he took it off the legs and had it in the garage with the head down for a long time, and then he ended up trading it to a friend of his. And then never saw it again. Tried to, all the way through high school, everything. I tried to find it, get it back. I tried to, get a job as an arcade tech for a long time too, and a lot of that was because of this machine. I knew what it looked like back here. I knew what it looked like underneath, and as a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid, to me, that meant I knew how to work on machines. I did know how to coin it up, but that's about all. Let's go ahead and check these fuses that are in here just to see. We're gonna want to make sure that they're all the proper fuse, so it's not over fused and anything. We're not going to get all critical with that right now. We will before we start it up, though. But if I order the board, we can start this thing up a lot sooner than if I have to repair the MPU. I think I probably have most of the parts, but the time is going to be the other thing. Just going to check the continuity. Okay, they all look good. This one up here. That's good. Alright. That's a bonus. What's this one, right? That's what confused me. I didn't know where that one went. Alright. So now we can take a look at the playfield. I'm going to take this glass off. So give me a second here. I'm going to pull this glass off. It's probably going to be a pain in the butt with all the tripods and stuff behind it. So we'll take a break for a second. I started and I did this apron here just to see while I was having a cigarette break, and if this machine turns out like that apron did, it's going to look fantastic. But in this video, I'm going to try to just clean this right side so we can kind of get a before and after look. I know it's probably going to take too long, probably won't get that much done in this video. I think we're already like half an hour or something like that, but I want to be real easy on it. I don't want to be real abrasive, so I'm going to use a a microfiber instead of a regular towel. And I'm just going to use Windex to start with, and then we'll get into the Novus cleaners and stuff like that. But I want to get the major crud off of it first, and hopefully not take up any paint. And I can see like this plastic here is a little bowed. Hopefully we can heat that up and flatten that back out. I checked the other one. It's also a little bowed on the other Playfield. Like I said, we don't want to do any scrubbing. Just going to kind of just wipe and hopefully get a lot of it off. Some parts look like they're going to be amazing. Like down here, it's fantastic. Let's see if you guys can see this. I'm stuck in all kinds of crap. Look how clean that's coming. That's amazing. It won't all be like that, but we can hope. I can hope. I don't know how much you guys really care. I guess you care some, otherwise you wouldn't be here watching. Try to get, see these, yeah, that's a lot of ball marks. Those are really hard to get out. I watched a little gameplay footage of other people's machines that were doing restores on YouTube over the past few years, and I noticed that right in here, they all kind of had a dark spot like that. So I figured it was ball marks. Really, the only thing you could do to get rid of that is try to get your magic eraser down in each little divot and each little crack, but it's just impossible. I know from being an auto detailer, it's not going to happen. Not without, you know, wet sanding, and by then you might as well get a new Playfield overlay. The red sure looks sharp though. It's coming clean. You can see there's still a little wax on it. It needs to be stripped off, so that's actually pretty good. This machine's in pretty good shape. I cleaned a little bit on the cabinet over here too, and it looks amazing. Most people, and I remember ours did too, back in the day, it wasn't this red color, it was faded into an orange, and I really like the red compared to the yellow and orange. I always felt like it was a Halloween machine. Still kind of looks like that, yeah, but with the red instead of the orange, it looks much better. We won't be turning anything on for a while, so we don't have to worry about getting our bulbs wet or anything. I don't know if I got any Windex up this far. And I went ahead and I fought all those little nuts, got those off so we wouldn't waste any time. And it looks like we have, let's see, we're still in frame here. I have a little bit of damage there, and that's typical too. On the other Playfield, it's completely missing all of this right there, and all the pins are starting to flake off. It's sad, but it's full of parts that we can use and will use. There's some ash. That was probably from me. I got a family reunion coming up. I won't be able to take this, but if I still have turtles, I'll be able to take that with me. I actually had planned on the turtles being a salesman sample anyway. But I thought, you know, I didn't want to do the same exact themes I did last time, but I would have kept a Star Wars for myself. But I figured a turtles themed one would do well. And I think people think this, maybe it's just a little too high. Everybody and their brother sells them for cheaper, but they didn't build as nice a one as I did, I don't think. Most of them are just in converted cabinets, or some of them are in like end tables and stuff. Like, yeah, you can get one cheaper if you want. Theirs won't have a startup sound. If it is, it's the 60-in-1 startup sound. I think it's going to look pretty good. Aside from those ball marks, I've never been able to get those all the way out where I'm happy with it. I had trouble with that on the touchdown. It had a lot of white on the play field where the football lines were for the field and the sidelines, and it just looks gray and gross, which kind of sucks, but it's not a whole lot you can do about it. I'm sure there's probably some kind of trick, but I'm pretty sure it's using a magic eraser to kind of sand it down a little bit. I'm not willing to do that on this one. I want it to be original, so we're going to play it, and this probably won't have a playfield left on it at all by the time my son gets it, because I'm sure they won't take care of it like I do. Well, that's all right. He's a whole generation removed. It may not mean anything to him by the time he gets there, but he's cool like that, though. He appreciates the old stuff. That came out pretty good. See right through that. I like it. But I'm really excited about the startup sound. It's kind of stupid. It's just because I wanted to do it with the Star Wars, and I tried figuring out a way, and it just seemed like, oh, that's just not going to work. I don't know how to do any kind of programming or anything like that. And so I think I tried a couple different things. I tried using like a talking toy and amplifying it, and it just wasn't going to work that way. Did not think about the greeting cards. I knew that they had those custom greeting cards, but I had not considered that. I think it must have been like autoplay on YouTube or something. Somehow something got suggested to me that put it in my brain. And it was early in the morning when I had first woken up. And it kind of ruined my whole morning because I was like, ooh, this is a good idea. Let's do this. Let's see, there's a whole lot of screws there. I want to go ahead and take those out, though. So that thing is dirty, and I want to get underneath it. Especially with that plastic being clear, I don't want to leave a giant dirt streak. There shouldn't be any ball marks on this thing. They really wanted this on there. It's got like 8 screws in it. But the cool thing about the startup sound is you can add that to anything. It doesn't have to be a multicade. You could add it to any game. Or I was thinking getting a couple of them and taking an old pachinko machine and adding sounds and some LED lights, just because you can get them real cheap. I thought it'd be a fun little project. I think I have 2 or 3 still. That's stuck on there too. Alright, we'll wait on that. I'm not going to worry about that right now. It'll take an hour. Still in frame here, so we can zoom in a little bit. Pretty far. And you can see right there the advanced bonus. We have a little bit of paint damage, and I think up here too. Yeah, right there. It's not terrible. I'll hit it with some touch-up paint or something. Just gonna kind of try to stay on this half. I always do that just so it makes good pictures. I think that's for me being a detailer. I'd always buff half the hood, make it look as good as I could, and leave the other side just crap. Kind of show people what I could do. This isn't as much skill, this is just wiping it down, but you can still see a major difference, and that helps. Definitely helps if you're going to sell it, because you can show what kind of effort you've put into it before and afters and stuff like that. So it's always smart not only to take pictures so you can see how stuff is wired, but just to see your own progress and the difference of how the machine looks before and after. Some of them you can't really tell. They look good to begin with, but some of them flat out look amazing with just a little magic eraser. About got this area as good as we're going to get it with the microfiber alone. I'm going to get the center part up here. And next I'm going to take the Novus 1, and which it's just cleaner. I don't really find it any different than when using Windex, but I'm going to use that magic eraser real lightly. I only have one, so I need to go to the store and get some more supplies. That's the main reason why we're just going to do half of this in this video. We don't have enough supplies to really... I don't want to take a dirty magic eraser and just keep smudging all over it, and it's already getting pretty gross. Let's back up here. I'll come back up. Now we'll see how it does. Let me get some Novus. So this is number 1, plastic clean and shine, anti-fog, anti-static, dust repellent for use in autos, boats, planes, motorcycles, and most plastic surfaces. And I usually use this one first. If it's really bad, I'll start with 3 and go to 2 and go to 1. But this is, like I said, this is just kind of cleaner. So I'll use this first, and then I'll use 2 most of the time, and then come back to this or Windex, one of the two. This actually would get really expensive to use as Windex all the time. Yeah. But it really helps when it's grody like this. Let's see how much better it looks. Oh yeah, it helps a lot. This is where you want to be careful, because you can find a spot that you really just want to, you almost got it, and you just scrub too much, and I'm not doing it yet. You always want to check your sponge, make sure you're not just taking the paint straight off of it, because it's easy to do, that's for sure. Very easy to do. Especially if there's touch-up paint. You'll take that touch-up paint right off. Oh, I just kicked the tripod. The cat, the kitten, she is just in love with that tripod. She attacks it. I think it's probably because I give it so much attention, and she's probably getting jealous. But I had to put her out of the room because she kept knocking it over. I hadn't even started filming yet. It's not really taking that off of there, is it? It looks better, but it's not really taking it off. And I'm gonna make sure that I don't do it too long, because I will. I'll sit there and scrub it right off. Looks like we got, those ball marks are all over the playfield, so we can always get a new, what are they called, Playfield Overlays? Or is it just art? I would think it would be a Playfield Overlay. But it's basically a new set of art for the playfield. A lot of these machines you can still get new playfields for. This may be one of them. But man, that's some money. I had to spend everything I made off the last game. Probably still wouldn't cover it all. Yeah, there's ball marks everywhere. This one's been played for sure. That's okay. I want a player's machine. I don't want it to look perfect because I don't want to feel sad every time the ball bounces around in the inside of the game. I want to be able to play this one and enjoy it. I don't want it to be all tore up, but I would like it to look good. I definitely would hate to have it just be absolutely perfect. I kind of feel that way about all my games. I won't play them if they are that perfect. Or every time somebody plays them, I'll be looking at them sideways like, "Well, you hit my flippers like that, man." Death save, really? Get a nudge like that? Like, dude, I didn't barely touch it. Death save. I don't nudge at all anymore. I know somebody's gone through the trouble of doing this. Everybody I know that has pinball machines, they've put some time into them. So I won't boot them around. Knock out over here. Over here. Got a crack on that guy up there. Got it good enough, and I'll let it dry for a second, and then we'll use that number 2 wax. See if we can't. It may take up a little bit of this ball mark, and see if you can tell a difference. I mean, it's really bad on the left. It just still has some residue on the right, but there's definitely a difference. So I'm happy with that. But I'll go ahead and stop this. We're almost at 20 minutes in this clip too. I'm gonna have 2 nice long videos, 2 days in a row. All right, be right back. What I'm gonna do, since we're kind of getting long in this video, so I'm just gonna focus on this section right here, and I'm gonna use the Novus 3 to start with, and then I'll use some of the 2, just so we can kind of get an idea of what it's gonna look like. And then I'll end this one, so we'll have something for today. And then after I upload that, then we'll just continue, and you'll see that in the next one. I got this nice and shaken up. I went ahead and cleaned that flipper for our picture. I don't know that it'll make a good thumbnail. I was hoping that it would. We'll see. Man, this stuff's so thick. I shook it up pretty good, too. Hopefully it wasn't sitting too long. I don't think I've had it that long. Go through it pretty fast. I bet that black looks really good, because we won't be able to see any ball marks in that. Wish I had some applicator pads, but I didn't. I don't know that it's going to do a whole lot for that. Don't look like it anyway. I figured that bowling ball was going to look choice. It's probably going to be like the best spot on the whole machine just because it's black. Black don't crack, right? It looks pretty good. Especially after I hit it and polish it. Ooh, there it finally came out of the bowl there. Jeez. Might have to do half the machine with this little dab. It's alright, I felt like I was a little dry on the last one. There we go. Yeah. This is what a Irish guy feels like when he goes to the beach. But it's definitely a little easier to buff with some liquid on there. Now I usually use a cotton cloth to put it on, and I use the microfiber to take it off. And then you can remember when you wash them that the microfibers have wax in them when I wash them with extra hot water. That didn't take so long. Alright, let's see how it looks. Fresh, clean microfiber. And this stuff will clean off any dirt too that's on there. Anything that you missed. Oh, it feels a lot better, I'll tell you that. It may not look much better. I have new rubbers and a new ball, but we probably won't need any of that for at least until I get the replacement MPU, which if I ordered it today, I could probably get it Wednesday or Thursday. Well, I could probably pay more to get it right away, but it's not that important. All right, let's see how this black's gonna look. Yeah, it's gonna look pretty good. Still need the Novus 2. Polish it up a little better. It's definitely a lot better. It feels a lot better too. Let's try a little number 2. Who does number 2 work for? This one says fine scratch remover, restores original appearance to plastics for use in autos, boats, planes, motorcycles, and most plastic surfaces. And pinball machines. You think they'd put that on there as much as everyone recommends their product for this. Ugh. I'm out of breath. You always want to shake it because it separates. All right. This stuff looks like poo. It's like some nasty sausage gravy. I don't remember it looking like that, but it may. Yeah, I'm not going to run ahead and do a whole bunch without you guys because I want to do this one all on camera as much as possible. I know there'll be a night or something where I don't feel good or something like that, and I'll end up working on it. I'm sick, or not sick, but just not feeling up to being on camera. Which that's a lot of times, but I just muscle through it. You guys don't really care. Man, I got no arm strength left. Alright. That's about all I can do. My arms are dead. Normally I probably would have taken a break in between the two, but that just means it takes that much longer for me to get to the editing. This one won't be bad to edit because I don't have to cut anything out. There's nobody here saying insane things behind me or trying to get me to laugh or it definitely looks a lot better. Look at that bowling ball, man. That's amazing. There's a lot of ball marks in it. You just can't see them. All right, let's take a look at that. Almost the whole bowling ball's clean. I didn't leave enough dirty. But you can see right there in the yellow, it's definitely a major difference. So it will look pretty good. I like to start with a clean machine, even though normally I wouldn't do this much waxing and stuff this early, but I just kind of want to see what it looks like. But I always clean everything first because it feels like you're getting farther along in your project if you have a clean machine. And if it looks filthy, it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel like I'm not getting anywhere. But let me take a break and catch my breath, and we'll wrap this one up.
Operation Wolf. If you don't like this video game, then fuck you.
Yes. Real quick before I let you guys go, see if I can swing around a little bit so you can see the shine. I don't know if it shows through on camera or not. At least look at the bowling ball shows it for sure. You can see a reflection, but it looks really good up here. I mean, it still has the ball pock marks, but it definitely looks nice and shiny. But I wanted to show you this plastic here. I got it nice and flat. And if you see this one over there, it's not bad, but let's see if I can get a better angle at it. See, it's just a little bowed. So I'm just going to show you how I did that real quick, as it wasn't hard and it was very easy with my new heat gun that I got. So let me set this up here. I'll set this here. And then if you put the 5 amp hour battery on this thing, it really works well. It didn't take long at all. I just got it good and warm, and then I set the heat gun right down on it, and with this heavy battery. And I've done before where you set them on the, set of plastics on the oven door. You turn the oven down real low, just enough to warm it up, and they flatten out on their own. It's getting warm. I was pretty happy with the results on the other one. It was much worse than this one, actually. Not much worse, but it was worse. Oh, it's heavy. I didn't really do it much longer than this, though. What I did do, though, is I kind of picked it up, kind of felt, oh yeah, it's real pliable already. It's not very hard at all to bend. So while it's pliable, set it flat down. Probably not on that. I don't want to mess up my handmade DeWalt logo. But I just let it sit like that for a few minutes and then popped it on there. It was good to go. But I think we're going to wrap it up here. I don't want to do too much more. I'll probably do just a little bit. I want to put the back glass back in. I need to get something for the thumbnail. Kind of shows what we did in this video. Give you an idea before you watch. But you'll know before you get this far, that's for sure, because you've probably seen the thumbnail. But appreciate you guys watching. This one, like I said, we're going to have the whole series. We're going to go all the way through it because this machine means so much to me. Whether or not it's as fun as I remember, I don't know. I imagine just from nostalgia alone it will be. But I know that we have a dead machine, and bringing a dead machine back to life is always fun. So hopefully this is about done here. Yeah, look at that. Nice and flat. That heat gun works really well. It wasn't super hot or anything. It was just enough to do the trick. It's different than having one that has a cord on it, that's for sure. It's not as real hot real fast. It's a more subtle attempt. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one probably real soon. I have we're gonna have to pick up Stargate soon, and I want to show you guys how I did that startup sound with the sound module. Thanks for watching. So these two right here are going to be ground and 5 volt. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is. A nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And a pretty good deal on it too.
Super hang on. Get what I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
What? Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yep. Well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.